Searching for music for your next video? Then you need to check out Artlist. With a
Let me try. There we are. The big old mute button. You got to hit that one. You got to hit that one. How are you all today, my darlings? Good to see you. Can't really see you, but I can see some eyeballs, and that's always nice. Welcome to the B1 community. I'm Jo Martin, the founder. If you haven't yet met, if you're new to the community, a big welcome to you. We've had an amazing weekend last weekend with Momentum for Change, where we had over 3,000 women register for that event. And I know many of you made it live on the weekend. Some of you didn't quite make it live, but you're still part of the community. And we're hoping over the course of this week to bring snippets, bits, bobs, bits and pieces, inspiration from the weekend to you this week through a number of pop-up lives right here in the B1 community. So I am going to be here with you guys for a little bit of time. Still no sound, Bonnie? Oh, can you still not hear me? Or is it come? Yep. Does that mean, yep, there's still no sound? Can you not hear me? Or is it, because, oh, I'm confused. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, thank you very much, Jean. Okay, great, good. If one person can hear me, I know it's not my end, and that's the most important thing. So, yes, it's raining today. I know, where did summer go? We had our last day of summer yesterday, I think, and today we are into the autumn, which is a little bit disappointing, really, but hey, that's the way it rolls. The seasons, they do that. And as I was saying earlier, we are in Momentum for Change season right now. We know that many of our community have been feeling stuck, procrastinating, in inertia, being beaten up by their inner critic a bit, bad-mouthing on themselves. And we have been helping over the course of this weekend and this week to support you getting back into gear, getting back into action. So I am here this afternoon for Q&A and coaching. We're going to be here today at 2 p.m. I am doing a session. Let me tell you what time the sessions are coming up, ladies, so you know what to expect in the days ahead. I'm going to do, so by popular demand from you ladies, I did a Facebook Live yesterday on the One of Many page, and everybody was saying, oh, yes, please, when I said, would you like a summary webinar? So yes, we had 2 days of immense transformation, extraordinary feedback. You've probably seen a lot of the comments here in the group. So we had an exquisite time. I can just see I'm all caught up on my earring there. We had an exquisite time on the weekend, but I know not all of you were able to A, make it for the whole weekend, or B, maybe make it to the weekend at all. So tomorrow night, Thursday night at 8 p.m., we are going to do a live stream webinar right here in the B1 community for you, for everybody who was unable to make it. And because we're doing it right here in the B1, the recording will be right here. But if you have questions, if you want coaching, show up live tomorrow night, 8 p.m. There will be many, many wonderful reasons to be there live. So that's happening 8 p.m. London time in the B1 community right here where you're seeing this video. I'll be going through kind of the highlights, if you like, from the weekend. What were the key things we taught? What were the key distinctions that we landed, and giving those to you thick and fast tomorrow night. I'll do my best to condense 2 days into 90 minutes. So that'll be great. I think that'll be fantastic. If you're looking forward to that, give me a little thumbs up, give me a bit of love, say, yes, that sounds great. And I will make sure we send that and get that going for you tomorrow. 8 p.m. tomorrow night is when that is going to happen. I'm also going to be back in here at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon for a Q&A. And also on Monday for a Q&A on Monday as well. So the reason all this is happening is because right now we have enrollments open for Living the Change. This only happens a couple of times a year. The last time was back in May. It's not going to happen again this calendar year. So this is it for 2020. And if you're new to the community, Living the Change is our live online coaching program. So it is a powerfully transformational program where you can come in feeling stuck, overwhelmed, burned out, depleted, cranky, any of these things, just generally not your best self, or doing pretty good but wanting support to do even better. And over the course of the journey with us, we will support you back into your best self, operating from your 5 women's power types, moving effortlessly through challenges as they arise, really honing your navigational equipment so you're heading towards your purpose and your vision. It's a deeply powerful program to shift you from burned out and stuck and challenged into flow, from soft power and truly living into what you know you're capable of in the world. And that's just the training side, right? So there's a training element, which is in our members area. There is also amazing coaching, which you can choose 3 levels of coaching. You could either do Q&As like I'm doing right here with you guys now, or small group coaching where we see each other's faces. You know, there's usually around 5 to 15 people on the call, and everybody gets a chance to be coached. That's the silver level, or gold level, where you get your own one-on-one coach. And I have to say, having just got off the phone to my coach this morning, what a difference a coach makes. There's stuff going on for me I wasn't even conscious was going on for me, and having a chat to her about that today was truly awesome. I know one of the things that's come up, one of the questions that has come up quite a bit in the community, because we've got so many new people at the moment, is, what is coaching? What actually is coaching? And so I thought I'd start today's coaching and Q&A here to answer exactly that question. And if you're here with me live, please do say hello, introduce yourself in the comments section. And I am here to provide you with questions and answers and some coaching today. So if you've got something going on in your life that you'd like some help with, put it into the comments section. I see it here. You will need to give Ecamm access to be able to see your comments. Otherwise, I can't see them at my end. But when you do that, then I can see it, and I can offer you some coaching and some support with anything that might be going on in your life. So let me talk a little about what coaching is for those of you who are new to the community, and by all means, I'm here for you to do some this afternoon. So when we talk about coaching here at One of Many, we kind of compare it to counseling and therapy, as well as mentoring and as well as consulting. So it's slightly different to all of these things. And the style of coaching that we do here at One of Many draws on a couple of them. So coaching is really a co-creative relationship with your coach, with the person who is providing the coaching, to help you to creatively overcome obstacles and achieve your intentions, your ambitions, your goals for the future. It is not about focusing on past trauma and like what you would do in a therapeutic kind of setting, like counseling. So counseling and therapy is really focusing on events or things that have happened in the past that need that kind of through, which is not to say that we don't talk about patterns and we don't talk about how our past informs who we are and what is coming in the future in coaching. We absolutely do. And in fact, many of the tools that our coaches use help us to go and heal things from our past so that we have more freedom to choose differently in our future. So the One of Many approach to coaching does draw on a little bit of, a little bit of past work, like not that you're focusing on that all of the time, but your past will always inform your future, and we help you to understand that and to repattern it. In fact, at our Reset workshop, that's one of the things that we're going to be doing, is helping you to take a challenge that's going on right now and look deeper into the patterns. For those of you who are joining us for Living the Change, the whole of Module 3, which is the Regenerate module, is about looking at your values, looking at your beliefs, looking at your past programming, and identifying patterns in your life to help you to release those and provide freedom for moving forward. So Module 3 is powerfully able to do that. But it's not just focused on icky stuff from the past. That's the distinction. So it's different to counseling. It's our kind of coaching is a mix, a little bit of a blend with some kind of mentoring in there as well, in that we help you with new tools. And I guess we do what we call resource development. So we help you like very straight, run-of-the-mill coaching will always assume that you have all of the resources inside of you that you need to succeed, right? And I believe that that is true. And sometimes it's really nice to have someone to help you shortcut things and say, hey, it seems to me that you don't really know how to set boundaries. Has anyone ever taught you how to set boundaries? No, they haven't taught me how to set boundaries. So what do you need to learn to set boundaries? Well, I wouldn't even know how to do it. Great. I've got a boundary setting protocol. Let me teach you how to set some boundaries. So your coach will help you by developing resources like that. Does that make sense, my darlings? Awesome. So, having said all of that, there's the coaching aspect, then there's also this resource development mentoring side. But what you'll discover with our style of coaching is it's not just consulting where someone says, I've got this job interview coming up, what should I do? And just tell you exactly what you should do, right? It's a much more partnership-based approach where we try to help you to access what's inside of you to be able to transform things. So what I would love to do right now, for those of you who are with me live, is do a bit of coaching. I mean, it will be it's weird coaching. It will be a little bit more towards the advice and mentorship side because it's very one way, right? I can't open up the line to you in a Facebook Live, but I can answer questions, or if you've got any challenges going on, write them in the comment section there for me. Let me know what's going on in your life and let me help you out. Let me point you in the direction of some tools. Let me support you in that way, in some way, shape or form. So if you've got anything, please do ask away. Please do ask away. Now, having said that, let me see. I think we had some questions from the event in the weekend. So here is one. Great. So one of the questions was coming from Jane on the weekend, who has a non-profit organisation that she's looking to get off the ground, and wanting to harness some support for that. So that's very exciting. You know, what's your advice or your best thoughts on that? So let's talk about that. Thank you. Thanks very much, Jane, who is in Kenya. Was it? Did I see that somewhere? Where did I imagine that? Oh, no. Oh, yes, in Kenya, yes. Yay. So if you are looking to enlist support, right, if you're looking to enlist support for something, we can broaden that out for all of us to learn from and look at what does it mean to be getting support for a project. I'm reminded of Aisha, whose video I shared actually on our Facebook Live on the One of Many page yesterday, who is one of our Living the Change members. She's a silver member with us. And Aisha has had a vision to start a charity to build a hospital in northeastern Nigeria, which is where she is from. And she's been wanting to do that since she was at med school. She's obviously graduated medicine and is now a doctor and is doing that and doing an amazing job. And one of the things that she's done exceptionally well since she's been participating in Living the Change is getting the support that she needs to get this venture off the ground. So let's say you've got a big idea of any way, shape or form, whatever it might be, a charity, it might be a business that you want to start, it might be you might have a big idea to take your family on a big holiday that you know your partner might not be 100% on board with. So how do you get buy-in to a vision? So as always, I'm going to answer this with our 5 women's power types at the fore. So one moment, please, whilst I get my women's power type cards. So there are a few women's power types that can really help you in terms of getting people enrolled in a big vision. The first is Queen. So Queen is the power type who is most comfortable in leadership, very certain of her place in the world. Let me just send this through. Very comfortable of her place in the world. And the Queen is the part of us that is serene and graceful, and she holds the vision for the whole realm, right? She holds the vision for the whole realm. From Queen, if you want to get engagement, it's about being able to first of all, it's about how you own your space, right? If you're going to be speaking to someone, if you're going to be inviting people, it's about owning your space. And one of the pieces that we teach on Lead the Change actually is a little bit called it's called the Sovereign Invitation. And I'm going to give it to you right now because it's a great little patter. So it's a three-step process if you want to inspire people into a vision. And it goes, number 1 is involve, number 2 is inspire, and number 3 is invite. So you start from Queen energy, involving whoever the person is, like get them involved in some way. Speak to their pain, speak to the opportunity, speak to what's going on for them. In that beginning, you need to speak to exactly how someone is feeling in that moment and build that rapport. Does that make sense, ladies? So you want to build that rapport in some way, shape or form. How lovely, Susan. I just saw Susan's message here. Susan says, I'm so excited to catch this. Yay. Oh, look, my comments have turned pink. That's quite fun. So involve is where we kind of build rapport and we get connected with whomever it is that we want to involve in our vision. Then the inspire phase is then when you paint out your vision for the future. So in Jane's case with her charity, her non-profit that's supporting the needy in Kenya, she could absolutely, what is the vision? Like specifically, I would want to know, what is the vision? You know, specifically, whom are you helping and what impact you want to have with them? So when I speak the vision of one of the Hunger Project, which is an organization that we support, and the Hunger Project is supporting women in South Asia and many countries in Africa like Malawi and Uganda, dozens of countries that have gone right out of my head in this moment in time, of course. But when I speak about their vision, I speak about the fact that our vision is to end hunger in the world. And we see hunger not as a billion mouths to feed or a problem to be solved by us alone, but we see that we have a billion willing, innovative, smart partners who want to transform their world in just the same way as we want to transform ours. They're our partners. There's a real sense of partnership. And we work with rural communities with women at the center, because we know that when women are at the center of change, it impacts the community in a far more powerful way. So it's women-led and it's community-led development, where we don't go in and say, this is what you should do. The community tells us what they need and we support them. We support them in their leadership and we support them with funding for that. But the vision is a world free from hunger, right? And then there's a little bit about how we do what we do. That's the piece that painting out a vision, that can be really inspiring. And then the invitation, the third step is invite. The invitation then is, so what we're looking for right now is your partnership, either financial, if that's what you're looking for, and it could look this way, and you would explain how that would look. Or you might say that what we're looking for is volunteers, and that would look this way, etc. So involve, inspire, invite. Meet them where they're at. Paint them out the bright vision of what it is that you want to achieve or do, and then invite their support. And that comes from Queen. Now, the other power type that I want to speak to if you're looking to engage support in something is to never underestimate the power of lover energy. I certainly don't mean, sleeping your way to the top. It's certainly not that, right? Yes, lover is the center of our sexuality. Yeah, of course she is that. But she is also incredibly charismatic and very magnetic. So if you are looking to get people enrolled in something that is going on for you, spending some time in lover energy can really support with that to help you to, when you're in lover, you become more enticing to be around. People just want to be able to say yes to you. So it brings forth that playful, your life force energy becomes radiant and magnetic and attractive to people. So there's a lot to be said for lover when we're looking to get enrollment in things as well. How does that sound, ladies? Is that helpful for you? For those of you who are looking to, if you're a leader and you're looking to get a team enrolled in something, or you're looking to get your family enrolled in something, or you're looking to get, fundraising support, involve, inspire, invite, coming from Queen, but with a healthy dose of lover in there, bringing in that life force energy that people want to be plugged into. They want to be plugged into those sorts of things. Good, excellent. Oh, wow, okay, got it. So yes, let's move on now. I'm gonna work with Jilly's challenge here. Jilly says, I'm feeling really disempowered right now. We're having massive internet problems, which are impacting my job as an online trainer and my one of many journey. I've bought things to boost the signal, but nothing seems to work. Rural France feels like the third world as far as IT is concerned, and I'm exhausted, frustrated, and considering giving up. Hoping that tomorrow will bring some positivity, but today I'm feeling really flat. Jilly, I hear you. Oh my goodness, I hear you. I too have been in internet challenge land many times. So here's how I would approach this, right? Because what looks like an internet problem is actually a resourcefulness problem. It's actually an energy problem, is what you're experiencing right now, my darling, right? You're just knackered from the challenge. So when we're knackered from the challenge, we often can't see the wood for the trees. One of the best processes we can use is a process that comes straight from module 5, can't quite remember which one it is in. I want to say 5, of living the change. And that is the wisdom process. So Jilly, hopefully you've got enough internet connection to hear me all right. I'm going to take you through a quick wisdom process here. So the wisdom process is where we activate each of the 5 women's power types in turn, and we help to get their wisdom on whatever the topic is, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to activate, Jilly, your warrioress energy. So Jilly, I want you to tune into your warrioress, and we can all do this right now, right? We can all tune into warrioress. So that part of you that fights for injustice, that gets shit done, that is happy to roll up her sleeves and fight. Warrioress. From warrioress, I want you to tune into, and you might jot it down on a page in front of you. what would your warrioress do with what's going on right now? Like from warrioress, what's she got in the tank? What's possible from warrioress? Yeah? And write that down for me. What has warrioress got for you? Okay, you're exhausted and frustrated, but when you really activate warrioress, rah, what's she doing, right? Well, she's got fight left. She's got tiger in the tank. What's she got for you? And then you're going to shake her out. And next, I want you to activate lover energy. I want you to really drop down for a second into your lover energy, that part of you that is the center of self-care, that cherishes and nurtures this body that you've been born into, that is incredibly charismatic, incredibly persuasive, magnetic, in fact. And I wonder what wisdom she has for you, Jilly. Right? What's her thoughts on the subject? What's her thoughts on how you're feeling right now and what's going on right now and how you could approach it? Yeah? So that's lover energy. Jot those things down. Then I want you to shake that out. Shake, 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 shake. And I want you to tune into your mother energy. So unconditionally loving, unconditionally caring, the center of safety and solace, that place of home, of acceptance, of patience. So from mother energy, I wonder what mother would do in this situation. How would mother approach this situation? And how you're feeling about it and so forth. Okay, good. Jot that down. Jot it down. And then shake her out. And I want you to put your crown on, your headdress, your cloaks, and from Queen, who knows where her boundaries are, who has a vision for the realm, is clear of her impact in the world and what she's destined and being called forth into as a leader. From Queen, how would Queen handle this? What's she got? What's her perspective? Write that down. And then shake, 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 shake it all about. And then finally, sorceress energy. So tuning into that part of you that connects to whatever it is that is bigger than you, tuning into magic, feeling yourself dissolve into the interconnection of all that there is. What sorceress? What could you call on sorceress for? What could she activate for you, Jilly? Right, what could she activate with this? Very good, and write that down. And then what you've probably got now, Jilly, I hope, is a bunch of new inner wisdom, right? A bunch of new inner wisdom that would be available. Now, because of the nature of how we're doing this coaching today, ordinarily I'd stop and hear what each of them were, but you're doing it and that's fine. So things that came up for me as I thought about warrioress, right? As I thought about warrioress, she would roll up her sleeves, she would find out who knows how to sort out IT, ring them up, harangue them, hound them, get what she needs, whether that's getting help from a neighbor, whether it's doing whatever it is, like she would just fight and keep fighting. And she can really roll up her sleeves, wire stuff herself, work out how to do it, incredibly resourceful for getting things done. As I heard lover, I heard you're feeling really disempowered right now. First thing I thought is, I wonder where she is in her cycle. I wonder where Jilly is up to. I wonder how nourished Jilly is feeling right now. Or is she exhausted? Is she on her knees? Does she actually just need to walk away from it all and just rest up today? Go get in the bubble bath and cherish and nurture herself because she's too tired to do anything about it. That's what lover would do. Lover might also take some baked goods to a neighbor who's particularly resourceful in this area and say, I come bearing gifts because I really need your help. I need you to come and support me, get my internet sorted out because my business depends on it. Would you help? Right? Come and save my life, dear neighbor who knows IT things and has amazing IT setup, for instance. Mother, she's the patient one. She's the one who can do the inner nurturing, saying, you know what, we're going to get there. It's going to be okay. We will get there. It's going to be fine. She is the one who's going to be able to help you to access the patience. That's what came up. for me. Queen seeks counsel. And as we were going through Queen, I thought, I wonder if Jilly's reached out to the B1 community and says, is there anyone else in rural France having trouble getting internet connection right now? What exactly is the setup that you're using? Who do you know? Who do you know that I can get on the phone to and sort this out and have someone coach you through it? Queen would not be doing this by herself. She'd be asking, who knows and who can I get to support it, right? If you're trying things and it's not seeming to work, but you're not the expert, she's going to get the expert, right? And she's happy to do that. And then Sorceress, I used to co-train with a guy who, whenever he had internet connectivity problems in a hotel room, you know, he was often my co-trainer. He would write Reiki symbols on Post-it notes and put them on his computer. And do you know what would happen? His computer would pick up the internet better than anybody else's. I don't understand it. But what I am saying is there is also that piece which when you've done everything on the physical plane, prayer, connection, you know, calling it in, manifestation, whatever you want to call it, Sorceress can support with that, right? Just magic up the help that you need from somewhere. So Jilly, having been through that process, I would like to hear from you in the chat box. What has become available for you? What is it that is your number one priority? Is it resting up today? Is it going hard after it from Warrioress? Is it, okay, working on Sorceress? Is it reaching out for more help? You know, there's many things that you could do. Estelle is saying, hi, Jilly, I use a phone provider, 3. They have a plug-and-play Huawei Wi-Fi unit you can plug into the electric supply. It's not a booster, but a 4G router. I've used it internationally, not France, but it might help. There you go. Good. So Jilly says, let's see what Jilly has to say about this. I love it. Let's come to this because you've just shared that with us. Can I add it to the broadcast? Oh, I can't add it to the broadcast. Why is that not working? Let's see if I do that. Oh, yes, there we go. Good. Jilly says, okay, I've just decided to drive to the nearest town and find out about satellite tech. Thanks, warriors. Lover is telling me to have a nice bath and mother's telling me it'll be okay. Fabulous advice, the Queen. I'll try the post-it note thing and I'm begging Source to help. That's the way, my darling. That's the way. You know, you can also, I mean, you know, now I'm just going into what do I know about Wi-Fi. I know when we lived in rural Cotswolds in another village where they didn't have good Wi-Fi a while back, Greg ended up getting us 2 phone lines into the house and blending them, and that worked. So there's people that know things like that. My husband is one of those things, which makes me blessed, but there are people that know those things. So yes, drive into, like Lover would drive into the nearest town and go into any shop front that looks like they've got good internet connection, or go into the bar or the pub or whatever and say, who do you know in the village who is really good at internet? Well, who do I need to be talking to? Because there's going to be someone that's their bag, and get them to your house and you can get that sorted. But the point of this, ladies, is not about the internet. It's not about the Wi-Fi. It's not about the particular problem that Jilly is having. What I hope you can take away from this is a process called the wisdom process, which again, we teach you exactly in depth how to do inside your Living the Change program. And it takes being able to access your 5 women's power types. Again, that's part of the journey of living the change. But when you have a deep working relationship with them, you can turn to them for your inner wisdom at any day, on any day, right? It's a powerful, powerful resource. Give me a little thumbs up, give me a little bit of a yay or something in the comment section if that has been helpful for you as well as Jilly. It'd be great to hear from you if that has been helpful and useful for you as well. Woo, that was loud, wasn't it? Forgot to turn my do not disturbs off. There we go. Where are you, ladies? Good, excellent, good to hear. Good to hear. Well done. Well done. Just having a look at those comments as they're coming through. Lovely. Yay. Good. Thank you for the hearts and the loves. All right. So please, if you've joined us live on the call, I'm here for Q&A and questions. Right now we have enrollments are open for our Living the Change coaching program, where if you want one-on-one coaching like we've just kind of had in a virtual way with Jilly just now, imagine if you had someone to talk to like that twice a month, where you could show up one-on-one and talk about exactly what's going on in your life, troubleshoot things. So I just had a call with my coach this morning, and we talked about how I was feeling after the weekend, because I'm feeling a little tired after a big weekend, and what replenishment plans did I have in place, because I thought I had some things in place, but she challenged me and pushed me further, which was great. I needed that. So we talked about that. We talked about, I had one of the chats with the headmistress yesterday for my son. Don't get me wrong, he's doing awesome. I'm really lucky. I think there's a bell curve, isn't there, with kids at school, and James is at one end of the bell curve, but mercifully he's super intelligent, and he's finding maths boring, and has been for a number of years. So we had to have the how are we going to help James conversation. I know that many of our mums are also having the chats with schools about my kid's not keeping up, or dyslexia, or challenges like that. So it's tough. So we had that yesterday, and this as I was talking to my coach about it, God, I just burst into tears. And there was this big wave of emotion. I went, God, I didn't even know that was in there. So I identified that I'd been carrying around stress about this thing for such a long period of time, right? We've been entertaining possibly going to homeschooling and a bunch of stuff like that. And I thought, God, So, and I identified that clearly there's something that needs emptying out. So I wrote down, need to do a dynamic meditation with Annie. Either come to one of the Living the Change dynamic meditations with Annie. And if you don't know what that is, Annie Stoker is our head of coaching, and she does this amazing meditation practice and some of you who are new to Living the Change, we had a session just on Monday night, and I know we got so much great feedback in the half about that. It was powerful. And I think I saw Jean, who was on the call earlier, was one of the people who said, wow, I finally went there, and it was great. And I identified I need to do that. I need to move this emotion through, right? I need to move it through. And that's something I'm going to talk about in the webinar tomorrow, is just how much emotion we're all carrying around at the moment, and why it is so critical to learn about how to let it go. So tomorrow night, 8 p.m, right here in B1, I'll do a recap of the weekend, and we'll talk a bit more about that. Excuse me, let me have a sip. So anyway, and then there was a bunch of other stuff that I spoke to my coach about. Came away from that, it was really only a quick 45-minute call as well. I came away from that with 6 action steps, which are going to make the next month for me like super much easier than it was ordinarily going to be. Another conversation I've got to have with Greg about my dad and a bunch of different things. So helpful, so useful. So imagine if you had someone like that there for you, someone that you could unload to, someone whose only job is to listen to you and to be there 100% for you. Nothing else, for no other reason. That's it, just to give you their full and undivided attention. And not just to listen, like a counselor or therapist would, but to help you to overcome emotions, clear them out, identify your values, notice limiting beliefs, help you release limiting beliefs if they're there. Really change your consciousness, shift your inner wiring so that you can not just overcome that challenge, but any other challenges related to it in the future. That's the nature of the coaching that is available for you here at One of Many. It's deeply powerful, and I'm super proud of it. I'm super proud of what we're able to achieve with that. So if you are interested in that, please do go to oneofmany.co.uk/LVC for Living the Change. I know you would think that would be LTC, but that's our Lead the Change thing. So it's LVC, and that will take you through to a page where you can learn all about Living the Change. You can select a coaching level that works for you, from one-on-one coaching right down to an incredibly affordable community-wide coaching calls, a bit like this, except for we see each other and you hear each other, which makes it better than this, much better, because it's not written, we talk. At the bronze level, which is £29. So Mashid says, where can I find programs like the dynamic meditation? So Mashid, the dynamic meditation that Annie does happens once a month inside our Living the Change members program. So I remember your name from the weekend, Mashid. So if you joined us for Living the Change on the weekend, If you go into your My Schedule section, you'll see when the next dynamic meditation is with Annie. It'll be around about a month away. And see what time it is, and you can get that in your diary and you can join that live. Also, once a month, there's amazing body work with Susie Heath. And for those of you who were with us on the weekend, you will remember just how powerful Susie's work is to also move things out of the body. Having said that, there was a great question that came in from Eva Martinez on the weekend. Can you say more about what emptying out is about? Because we talked a lot on the weekend about how we are full up. You know, we are full up with emotions. Over the course of this last 6-month period of time, we have become frustrated and angry at the situation. We've had grief, we've had fear, we've had hurt, we've had disappointment, we've had all sorts of things in there, right? And so many feelings, lots and lots of feelings. And so we are full up with feeling. And when we are full up with feeling, Annie used the analogy on the weekend of it's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. Right? If we've got all this emotion, it wants to bubble up, it wants to come up, but sometimes it's not appropriate. Do you know, if we've got to go to work and be switched on to what's going to be happening there, or we've got to be strong for our kids, or we've got to be, any number of different things that could get in the way of us being able to feel our emotions in any given moment. We kind of have to put a weight on top of our emotions to get on with our day, right? The problem with that is when we do it, that we end up in this situation where we're like, oops, sorry about that. I was just trying to turn my autofocus off because it was driving me crazy. Every time I gesture, it's trying to refocus on me. So let me just turn that off. But it's like where we try and put this beach ball of our emotions underwater, we're trying to hold it down. But that takes energy. That takes life force energy to hold our emotions out of our consciousness. And can you imagine, it's like you're trying to go through the day like this. Okay, it's your metaphorical arms, it's your energetic arms, not your real arms, but you're trying to do that. And if any of you have found your posture a bit like this lately, it's probably because you're trying to keep a whole bunch of emotions out of your consciousness. So, Eva, in answer to your question, emptying out is about letting these emotions out. And we have a bunch of different ways to do that in one of many. We have the dynamic meditation and Susie's work that we've talked about, very much going through the body. We have the power type release process that we did on the weekend. Those of you who are at Momentum for Change will remember that. It's quite a gentle visualization and meditation that moves things through. And we have a load of emotional hygiene techniques, daily techniques that you can be using every single day just to keep the feeling going. To say nothing of what it is to just be in a deeply supportive community where you can come in and share how you're feeling, and that can be a release, right? Actually, just saying to somebody else how you're feeling can be a deep, deep release. So I'm saying all of this because enrollments are open right now, ladies, for Living the Change. They are not open all of the time. On Monday, the 28th at midnight London time, we will be closing enrollments and turning all of our attention inwards once more to supporting our members to get amazing results in their life. Right now, while we're in enrollment phase, there's plenty of attention out here in our free areas so that you get a feel. It's really important for us that you get a feel of what it's all about and working on that kind of stuff, right? So that you get a sense of it. So that's why we're here. We're doing all of this stuff this week, but you've got a limited time and you can get registered at oneamany.co.uk/LVC. I thought what would be really nice now is to hear from someone other than me for a minute. Meanwhile, whilst you're having a listen to this video, I would really love to hear what challenges do you have in your life right now? What would you like coaching with? What is going on for you? Oh, yay! Jilly said I had my first one-to-one coaching session with Rhonda last week. She was brilliant. So, Jilly, I'm assuming that you must be a gold member of Living the Change. That makes me very happy, and I'm glad that Rhonda was able to help you with some stuff. She's awesome, right? Well, not just Rhonda. Every single one of our in-house coaches is amazing. We really do pick awesome people to support. So by all means, come and join us and get some one-on-one coaching like Jilly is. It makes all of the difference in the world. And that's magical, absolutely magical. So write your questions, your challenges, things that are going on for you right now in the comments section there. And I'll take some more questions here in a few minutes. But meanwhile, I want you to meet Amy Driver. Let's chat to Amy. Well, I'm super excited to be welcoming to this little chat Amy Driver, who is a performance manager for Danone in Liverpool. She's also a mum of 2. A big welcome to you, Amy, and thanks for taking some time to have a chat to us today. I wonder if you could start by telling us a little bit about your context, what life looks like at your end.
Yeah, so I'm a performance manager for Danone in a factory. I've been working in manufacturing all of my career. I'm a manufacturing engineer by training. I've got 2 teenage daughters, so 17 and 15.
Wow.
And I'm also in my spare time, I'm on the leadership team at my church.
Oh, lovely.
I'm the senior steward and have been senior steward. I'm about to start my 3rd year of being senior steward at the church.
Oh,
So you can imagine through lockdown, that's all been lots going on.
Yeah, I bet. God, lots of balls to juggle there, my Lord. So talk to us about where you were at when you first decided to join Living the Change. What were the issues, challenges or opportunities that were there for you at that time?
So I'd come to the end of probably about 6 years of some really significant, challenging things going on in my life. So I worked for a company that closed down the factory that I was working in. So I was on the senior leadership team, and it was our job to close that site down, make everybody redundant, including me, and making sure that we printed things like prescriptions and things like that, secure documents. So we had to keep the supply going the whole way through. We couldn't, let anybody down. So that was a high pressure situation. And I moved from that into a role in a company where I was not a good cultural fit at all. And my values just did not align with their values. So I was there for 2 and a bit years. Needed to get out by the end of it. So those professionally, that had been really challenging. At the same time, I'd gone on to the leadership team at church, had become a steward, and we had some significant challenges in the church with interpersonal stuff, and as a result, our minister ended up leaving us. So that became and we had a massive building project going on. And there were 2 of us who were really leading all the work on that building project, which isn't something I've ever done before. So was really outside my comfort zone and my knowledge. So yeah, that really high pressure. We didn't have a lot of people standing up to the roles. It's all got a bit better now. And all through all of this, my eldest was sitting her GCSEs so a year and a bit ago, which, is normal. You expect that at that age, but on top of everything else I've been operating in Superwoman for 5 or 6 years. And then I guess last summer that sort of all ended. So I was in a job I was comfortable in. Church had got much more straightforward, still challenges, but much easier. Ella had finished her GCSEs and I thought, right, I'll be all right now. But I was completely overwhelmed. And I now realise I was burnt out. And I just kept thinking, why is all this stuff? Why do I feel like I'm not in control and I can't get anything done? And it was clearly because I was burnt out.
That's interesting that you say that, Amy, because I think that's something a lot of people are feeling at the moment. We've juggled, and now there's starting to maybe be some space opening up to do things. But a lot of us are looking around going, I don't have any energy, I'm feeling stuck, I'm putting stuff off. And that's exactly what you're speaking about there, that sense of, I should be able to handle this. So that was what had you...
So I've done all that, and that was all. I've got through it. So why can't I manage now? It's all straightforward, and it was just too much. So yeah, and I think I've only really realised in the last month or so that I was burnt out. I kept hearing people on your programs talking about burnout, and I thought, well, I never got as far as that. I never really got burnt out. I didn't get sick, but looking back now, I think actually, I was completely burnt out. I couldn't get things done. I was getting through, and people on the outside would not have realised, but I think my family knew, and I wasn't looking after myself.
Wow. So you were pretty, needing some serious filling up, I guess, at the beginning of your journey. So how's that unfolded for you over the months now that you've been involved with Living the Change? How's that unfolded?
Yes, so I came along to, you did an event in Manchester, I came along to. So then, yeah, then came Living the Change. And that's been great because, you know, all the stuff on the hearth, the energy of that, and the Q&A calls, and they're so good. With the video, I think it makes such a difference when we have the breakout rooms. And you know, and I've had some great coaching on those, but I've also had some great realizations from watching other people being coached, and from the little conversations in the breakout room. So I think one of the aha moments that came in one of the Q&A calls, I put my hand up to be coached but didn't get picked, and we were in the breakout room at the end, and I told the other two ladies who were in that I was hoping to get some coaching, and somebody says, oh well, they'd have only told you you have to look at your needs creed and make sure you're fulfilling your needs. We laughed, and I came off the call and I thought, hang on a minute, she's right. I've been kind of writing down and thinking about what my needs creed is, and it took me a long time to imagine what my needs might be. But the only person who can make sure I fulfill my needs is me. And I do actually have to do it. So I decided to start by drinking 2 litres of water a day and just see what happened. And that came a few weeks before Revitalize, the Be Vital replacement weekend. And that was amazing. That was absolutely transformational. And I think I spoke to you at the beginning and said the thing I wanted to get out of it was to be able to lose some weight without having to go into Superwoman, because I've done that before.
Yeah.
And I came out of that weekend having realigned my values, and I have now lost over a stone.
Amy!
Without, I am not denying myself. I'm eating for vitality, and I now understand how people who don't gain weight think. So, yeah, I've still got plenty to go, but it's great. It's
Well
made such a
done.
difference.
That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. So you've done a beautiful job of partnering the ongoing coaching of Living the Change with attending a retreat that was really important for you, because we've obviously, some of the ladies may or may not know, but we've got these 4 retreats that we do throughout the course of the year on different topics. And you dug in on one of those retreats, and it's provided, I guess, a coaching space to support that change as well that you've made. Well done. Well done. Really well done.
Yeah, and then in the hearth, getting that support from there as well, and things like I've become aware of. So 6 years ago, we were working with a coach at work, and she said to me at one point, she said, "So, Mrs. First Class degree from Cambridge University, what is it that makes you think you're not good enough?" And I went away from that and thought, I don't know. And I've worked it out now, but I've only worked it out this year through doing Living the Change.
Oh, well done. Well done. And I'm excited because you were just sharing with me the ripple effect that this is having in your family with your girls. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I'm sitting in my daughter's bedroom because it seemed like a good place to sit for this chat. But a few weeks ago, my daughter was doing some art, and painted this picture here on the right. So, and I said, that looks just like a queen to me.
Yeah.
And showed her the power type cards, and so then she's gone away and she's painted Lover. I don't know if you can see the lady in the water. And then there's a space here. There's 3 blank canvases for the other ones to come. So yeah, I'm hoping, you know, she's beginning to take some of that on at 15. Hopefully she won't take till she gets to 46 before she can start to learn some of these lessons.
It's so true. And I think that's it. It's never too late for us to start for ourselves, and also to role model a different way of being for our kids and the next generation, even if we don't have our own kids. So I really honour that. I really, really honour that. Well done, Amy. Well, if there were ladies looking at stepping up and going deeper into the community, joining Living the Change this weekend, what would you say to them?
Well, certainly for me, it's been transformational. I feel like a different person. When I think back to who I was in November when I came to Manchester and who I am now, I feel like a different person. And I feel like there's scope out there that I just didn't know, I didn't realise was possible. I've got a long way to go. And the program and the hearth and all the tools are going to support me in going from strength to strength. So, you know, if you think you want to be different, I would absolutely recommend jump on board.
Amy, thank you so much for taking some time today. I'm so grateful.
Well, just thank you. I am in so much better place than I was.
Isn't that wonderful? Amy Driver there. She's just incredible. Give some love and some thumbs up to Amy if that was inspiring for you. I think she's just awesome, absolutely awesome. And I loved her, especially because I think for a lot of us who are burned out or on the brink of burnout, we don't even recognize it. And she spoke so powerfully to that, didn't she? She'd had a lot on, then she'd come out of it. She got to the end of it, and then she was like, well, I should be fine. I should be fine. Why am I not fine? And it feels to me like collectively, a lot of us are kind of at that point, do you know, where we've just been through, annus horribilis, the beginnings, 2020 so far since about March of this year, or it even started before that, it feels like, but a really challenging year. We had, remember at the beginning of this year, we had big, bright visions for the future, it's 2020, start of a new decade, heading towards 2030, where, we've got lots of agreement that we can achieve some of these sustainable development goals. We could end hunger by this time. We've got 10 years to sort the climate emergency out. It feels so. There was vision. There was vision at the beginning of this year. And then all of a sudden it's just been like, right? Every way we turn, it feels like life is kind of coming at us and challenging us and, beating us up with pandemic and, everything else, protests all around the world, so much inequity and inequality that we're seeing all over the world. There's just so much going on for us, to say nothing of what's going in our very own homes, especially, right now we're looking at, in the UK, potentially more lockdowns on the horizon and a big long winter ahead. Winter in the UK and flu season in the UK is usually terrible. And now we're going to do it with the pandemic and goodness knows what else going on. It's tough times, ladies. It really, truly, honestly is tough times. And if you're feeling like that, like you ought to be doing better, first thing I say is have some compassion for yourself. Have some compassion that this is a crazy ass time. And then the second thing is get some support. If you are not being supported at this time in some way, shape or form, and by support, I mean emotional support. I mean kind of coaching support. I don't mind if it's one of many or if it's somewhere else or if it's a counselor or a therapist or someone, but where's your safe space? Where's your place where you can go, you can unburden, you can empty, you can let the emotions go, you can learn from them, you can build up your resilience. Where is that place? If you don't have an answer for that, then I invite you deeply and powerfully to investigate joining us for Living the Change, because that is what that place is. We have the coaching where you can have either group coaching or one-on-one coaching. You choose. Depend which level you want. You get to choose that. Amazing tools in the members library that you can use for everything you could possibly want, from how to set a boundary through to how to negotiate partnership on the domestic stuff, through to how to help others in a time of crisis, through to how to set up a virtual working office, how to lead a virtual team. All sorts of amazing trainings are in there, and more and more happening every time, right? It's a very powerful members area. But the other piece of it is the Hearth. The Hearth is a closed Facebook group exclusively for members of Living the Change. And the camaraderie, the support in there is amazing. But not just that, that space is manned by our coaches, or womaned by our in-house coaches. And if you're ever stuck, you will not have to go more than 24 hours without getting great coaching from one of my highly trained, personally supervised coaches. So not only is the peer support amazing, but also that is our coached space. Here in B1, it is amazing, it is lovely, and sometimes our coaches do offer wisdom and support. Not saying that doesn't happen here, but it is guaranteed to happen in there, and you are always supported by your coach regularly. It's a powerful, powerful environment. So Living the Change enrollments are open right now. If you're still curious about what we covered on the weekend at Momentum for Change, I have decided to squeeze into my diary tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock, once I've got the kids in bed, I'm going to come in here and take you through a highlights session. So highlights of Momentum for Change, like what were the key distinctions and key pieces. So it is going to be happening right in here. We'll send an email out to you with a link to the exact post so that you can come and find it easily. But it'll be right here in the B1 community tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. London time, which I think will be fabulous. Well, ladies, we've been here together now for an hour, which has been it's flown. I don't know about you, but it's flown from my end. I hope that's been fun. For those of you who've joined me today, I will be back in here for Q&A style Facebook Live at, what time did I say? Remind me. At 2 o'clock on Friday and also 2 o'clock on Monday. So by all means come if you have any questions about the program, if you would like coaching, if you would like support on how to handle something, please do come and join us. It's going to be absolutely awesome tomorrow night and all of these sessions we've got for you. Remember, you've got till Monday midnight time to get registered for Living the Change. Go over to the website, wannamany.co.uk/LVC, and you can get all of the details there and choose the coaching level that is right for you. If you can get yourself a one-on-one coach, do it. It is one of the best things you will ever invest in. And the wonderful thing is everything is covered by a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can go for it for a month, test it all out, and if you don't absolutely love it, let us know. We'll give you your money back. Seriously, guys, do it. Do it right now. Go get yourself the support that you need, even if it's just for 1 month to trial it out, right? Get started. You could be on a coaching call with us as soon as tomorrow. For silver level, there are coaching calls happening tomorrow. So we're here for you. We would love to have you on board at Living the Change, oneofmany.co.uk/LVC. I'll see you there. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. here for the Highlights webinar. Ciao, ciao. Bye.